Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, wherever you are in the world. It is a delight to welcome you to this, the second of the two virtual tours that we're doing with AGEA in Brazil. Now, normally in life, coming second is not a good thing, but I can promise you that today you have the benefit of being second, because we had some rather interesting technical challenges when we did the first of these tours sort of 6 hours ago. We found that the system wasn't coping and there was lots of interference and noise, which is why we had to change the platform that you're on. Hopefully everyone can hear me fine and you can see me on your screens. If there are any problems, don't hesitate to drop me an email at piers.clark@islutilities.com. But in a minute, I'm going to hand over to our hosts for this tour. And it is Marco, Klaus and Wagner from AGEA. Now, just before we do, a couple of housekeeping things. One is your microphone should already be on mute, but if it isn't, can I ask that you put it on mute, because we get lots of feedback from that. And secondly, if you have any questions, you'll see there's a chat box. And if you put your questions into the chat box, it will then appear on the administrator's page, which hopefully Klaus, Marco and myself can see, and we will then feed that question to Wagner. And it's Wagner who's going to be guiding us through the virtual tour. But before we get to Wagner, I'm going to hand over to Marco to give us a few words of introduction and to welcome us on behalf of AGEA. Marco, are you there and can you hear us?
Yeah, thank you very much, Piers.
Perfect.
So, welcome everyone. I'm Marco Silva. I'm Director of Digital Transformation and Innovation at AGEA. AGEA is a water utility company that operates 128 municipalities from south to north of Brazil. That corresponds to 11 million people. About our digital transformation program, we've started it 3 years ago. The digital technology will be shown during the tour is part of the result of this program. Now I would like to give one information. The XR Proj platform will be used for communication, visualization, sharing, the digital twin and being model in the virtual environments. Today we will have a tour in a detailed 3D model of the wastewater treatment plant Bela Vista, connected to the real-time plant sensors and process data. My colleague Wagner, our beam master, will guide you now. Have a great experience. Thank you very much. Wagner.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay. Yes, perfect.
Yes, all good, perfect.
Yeah, greetings from Brazil. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here to present our plant. Oh, as Marco said, I'm a BIM manager. I'm also enthusiastic civil engineer, focus on asset transformation and infrastructure projects for a better life of our citizens. Yeah, and I'm also a Ziggurat Global Institute lecturer in BIM and co-leader of the Swan Digital Twin Lifecycle Work Group. Over the last 3 years, I have hitting the AGEA's Digital Twin program, combining asset management BIM disciplines. Thus, I'd like to begin this session with a short PPT, just to introduce you for our digitalization. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah, you can see your presentation.
All right. All right. Welcome to our virtual tour. Yeah. Bela Vista is the name of this plant in the control side of São Paulo. As Marco said, we manage a lot of assets in many cities in Brazil. And so, given the size of this portfolio of assets, we had a question to answer, yeah? How to figure out the best sustainable combination of process technologies to improve the system performance, balancing cost and risk as well. That's why IGEA launched the Smart Infra program in 2018. The IGEA initiative is based on the digital transformation in the design conception, focus on BIM methodology, and the other phase, the digital twin to support the operation and maintenance for business results. It's important to highlight that behind all these frameworks, we follow the ISO 1965 and ISO 551, BS 1192. Yeah, so it's you can see the full life cycle of our concessions. Most of them we assume 30 years contract. I'd like to highlight that we are involved in many international groups discussing about the digital twin effort around the world. The most important one is SWAN. It's the architecture of the physical environment and the digital, and how the digital twin works to offer a better user experience. Yeah, it's part. We have many sensors, actors, advanced monitoring, business operation systems, automation system, and for me, the core of all these is the structured data, the attributes, spatial, transitional, historical, temporal. You have this. You see this one in a practical vision of our facility. Data integration as well, it's so important. Analytics, asset information that can offer better results in optimization, organization, for user experience in a virtual world, augmented reality as well.
Apologies for breaking in just there. Yeah. Can I just ask that if you are not on mute, could I politely ask you to put yourself on mute? We're hearing quite a lot of heavy breathing from someone. If you could just put yourself on mute, please. Back to you, Wagner. Sorry to interrupt.
Okay. I was here as well, but now it's better. Fantastic. Yeah. So I will go straight to the point that digital twin life cycle is our core. Yeah. Understand the needs of different actor and phase, from design, construction, operation, to customer experience. That's the group that we are involved in. So the context, how to digitalize the context, the physical assets, the seats. Yeah. In this part, I'd like to highlight that we are using advanced drones and processing technologies. These are just an example of one of our seats. It's amazing the color, the details that we can capture using this high resolution data and images, and we generate these 3D models. Yeah. The asset tree in this context, how we organize our organization, the information requirements in our organization in different levels of these three, from the plant. In this context, we split in areas from different functions: sludge drying, tertiary treatment, till the equipment. And it's amazing to see the attributes, the volume, the historical data, the condition of each asset in this amazing context, combining BIM, Build Information Modeling, in DT, Digital Twin. It's amazing that this cross-platform we are able to use even in the field, the iPads to see the data, and then this part I just show you the technology that we use in this particular plant. Yeah, the information will be accessible for anyone, anywhere. We use the laser scanning to capture millions of points per minute to do this survey. Yeah, this we have a wealth of information to take to the software. We capture the digital surface model, the digital the assets, we can digitalize our assets as well. The principles of topography, aerophotogrammetry are used as well. So let's go to the field. Yeah, let me introduce you our colleagues. Carlos, can you see me? Now we are inside the plant.
Hi, how are you guys? I'm here.
Perfect. Carlos is the CEO of the EXA project. Yeah, Carlos?
Yes.
Okay,
it's my pleasure to be here with you guys. I just lost tracking of one of my hands, but no problem. Let's go ahead.
Perfect. And our colleague, Osmar, is my colleague in Nigeria, is part of this team. Osmar, can you hear us?
Yeah, I hear.
Wow, perfect, Osmar.
So, Wagner, it's Piers here, and every now and then I'm going to just interject, if that's okay. Can I just check that there's no one from the Water Action platform that's got 3D glasses that's logged on? Everybody is just watching. Is that correct, Wagner?
Yeah, no one outside. Just the Carlos using, but the outside nobody is using the VR glass. I'd like to. It's important to mention that we can do it later if anyone can. We can offer this opportunity. Yeah.
So, but if people had the VR glasses, they could have downloaded the app, and then they could be here as an avatar, just like Carlos is now. Be touring this site. Brilliant. And also, just before I pass back to you, Klaus, I've received a couple of emails of people saying that they're still in the waiting room. I think you're the administrator. Can you just check and help them join if possible, please?
Piers, I think maybe they are using the ancient link because
right. I'll update them. That's fine.
Here,
okay, carry on.
Here we don't have the waiting room.
Some restriction.
That's fine.
They entry directly. At the moment, we have 50 people, 50 people on the live.
Wow, fantastic.
Sorry to interrupt. Wagner, Carlos, back to you.
Wow, fantastic. Yeah. Wow, it's great to hear that everybody outside can see us. Yeah, and this vision from the tank is amazing. Yeah, we can. I'm using the notebook, and Carlos is using the VR glass. Yeah, Carlos. For you, the immersive experience is even more real. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot better, and it's worth mentioning that anyone with an iPad also could be sharing the experience with us, even on the actual site, on the actual how can I say water treatment plant. Okay.
Yeah. This pop-up, I just highlight for those that are not so familiar with digital twin, is the replica of the detail of our plant. If you go to the plant right now, you see this one. So let's begin with the preliminary treatment. Okay, Cadu and Osmar is here with me. Yeah, we are beginning our tour. Everyone can see that we have tags in our equipment because we, over the last 3 years, we are managing these equipment based on the ski QR code and the historical data, asset information, and verification. All the historical information you can see here. When we buy it, how much was it, how we install, well, many kinds and types of attributes are correlated with this equipment. Let's go to the part. Yeah, we can see the flow, the real-time flow. It is communicating with our SCADA. Right now, it's the flow that we are receiving in this plant. It's amazing because we don't have limits, not have restrictions. We can see even the animation of the raw sewage.
It's very interesting because in a physical visit, in a presential visit, you cannot see, you cannot have this view under the preliminary treatments or under the effluent.
Yeah, even the grit removal system, as Marco said, it's impossible to have this kind of experience in a real world. Yeah, I can guarantee that it's safer here. Yeah, Cadu.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So Wagner, it's Piers here again. We're getting a couple of questions, which I know you can't see because you're on the screen. Are you okay with me throwing them out to you as you do the tour, or would you prefer to wait for the end?
Okay, sorry, Piers, can you repeat?
Yeah, I was saying we're getting a couple of questions. Are you happy? I know.
Okay.
Okay. Would you like me to ask you the questions now, or do you want to wait till the end? What would you prefer?
Well, I think that it's okay to answer now. Yeah, it's more friendly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to check. So, the first question that's coming is the QR code tag metal or is it a plastic label? So this is looking at, you've obviously got this asset register of data and where you're reading that data from. Is it a metal tag or a plastic?
Metal. In Portuguese, we say inox.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
Stainless steel.
Yeah.
There is a technical question. We'll knock all of these off while we're doing this. What VR compatibility does this have? The person who's asked that has got Quest 2 and an HTC Vive at their disposal. Would either of those work with this?
Yes, HTC Vive, it's okay, but right now the Quest is under development. Okay, so even HoloLens is under development. Okay, but it's a matter of maybe a couple weeks. It's we're porting to Quest. Okay, because it's more portable. Quest is it's a very good device.
Brilliant. All right. And then two sort of broader questions. One is, what was the main driver for investing in this? What was the investment thesis for IGEA to create this digital twin? And then also, I'd like to ask a question around simulations. You've obviously created this virtual sewage treatment plant. Can you run simulations on it, or what degree of simulations can you do with this? Can you just change flow, or can you change wastewater strength, for example? So two questions there. Sorry, I'll do the one.
Yeah.
What was the main driver for investing in creating this digital environment?
Well, the main driving was after our increase our maturity level in asset management and being and the trigger was our build information modeling methodology joined with our asset management guideline over the last 3 years, and now we are more increase our reliability to create this environment and explore the benefits of the main driving was for training, for support our operation and maintenance team, and even for a presentation this over the pandemic, over the last 6 months we are even exploring meetings inside this environment. It's important to highlight that ExaProj is as well.
So everybody turns up as an avatar, do they? Is that in the meeting?
Yeah, we can avatar. Everybody is blue. We need to be comfort to be blue. And I turned off this microphone because we are using Teams with everyone, but we can just use the ExaProj to communicate with our team in Manaus, in Rio, in other parts of the Brazil, and even outside of our country.
Just to complete the answer, for each machine is connected to the CMMS platform, and we have a long time historical data that you can, for example, make prediction and simulation for a specific machine, for example, a centrifuge or a blower. For the process itself, you are talking about process data, and then we are developing a mathematical model with AI to have the correlation between all process data itself. That it's, let's say, parallel to the data that you are having here, the data from a machine. We can make prediction, simulation of this specific machine. But for the entire process, we are developing. For example, we changing not only the flow of the plant, but also the quality of the raw wastewater, and see what is going to happen and create many scenarios as you need. But I'm referring to the process. But for machines, you can making predictions, you can simulate, and well, you can it helps a lot for operation and maintenance. Okay.
Yeah, if I can summarize a little bit, they're getting this massive amount of data and processing it. And I think this platform is a great way to visualize that, okay? It's a lot more ergonomic than seeing the data flowing on charts, okay? So in here, the data is spatially distributed. I think it's a revolution in terms of ergonomic.
Yeah, no, it looks brilliant. And the question that Peter Williams raised was, he actually built on it saying, I think it was from Peter Williams, was, can you model the impact of rainfall? But based on your answer, absolutely, it sounds like you can, as long as you've got the right meteorological data, you can make adjustments to the flow coming in.
Yes, for sure. I think. I'm sorry. I was just going to say that in my point of view, the most beautiful thing is the next level they're taking machine learning, in order to help visualize and also predict better parameterizations, to have the optimum performance in this plant. Okay.
Well, absolutely great questions. Yeah, I'm very happy to hear that. Yeah, appears fantastic. But I'd like just to highlight that this platform doesn't compete with other platforms, specialist platform for hydraulic simulation, for rainfall. In this interface, in this environment, we can see in ergonomic, have this visualization, more ergonomic visualization. Yeah, Cadu and Osmar and Marco said about the historical data, real-time data, and even simulation data. We can gather all these perspectives, different disciplines as well in the same environment.
Yes, for sure. And also the predictions can trigger, for instance, a maintenance process, okay? So beforehand, we can have maintenance process that can help, how can I say, that can help people create maintenance on the machine before anything really catastrophic happens. This is very important also.
Yeah, to keep the health of our assets.
Yeah, well, like you say, the tool was developed so that you could do better asset planning, better asset management and asset planning. So again, another interesting question around greenhouse gas emissions. So obviously a wastewater treatment plant is a source of immense amounts of greenhouse gas emissions, both from the secondary treatment plants and from the sludge treatment end. Does your model at the moment look at that, or is it mostly focused on treatment and hydraulics? Or do you measure the GHG emissions?
Oh, the next step, yeah, Piers, yeah. We can join this perspective. Fantastic, this question, yeah. Imagine to correlate this kind of data, this information with the operation vision, with the operation perspectives. It will be amazing. Yeah, we already have some interaction about these advancements. Yeah, to this circular economy. Yeah. Yeah, this part is fantastic. We have some videos. I will not put this video, but we have some video that we can offer for our team to see how this process work. Marco, do you want to say something?
No, just yesterday you make a very interesting test with Osmar. Osmar had the machine, the virtual machine, on his table and could see through a tablet. It could show it. It was very interesting experience.
Okay, yeah.
And you discuss about the blower.
Yeah. This data, this graphical data, this graphical 3D environment is even available for our team inside the plant. Yeah. Now we are seeing the avatar. Imagine that in our plant. Yeah, we are offering the iPad, the augmented reality for our team.
And in this case, Osmar was in his house, discussing about the blower, and Wagner was in a virtual environments. It was very interesting in the benefits of the technology.
Yeah, to work in a collaborative way. The cross-platform offered for us this benefit. Everyone can see the same data and share the same environment. I would like to invite everyone to dive inside this tank. Yeah, are you prepared?
You're a sick man, Wagner.
Okay. Can you see the bubbles? Yeah, this is the important part. It's the heart of the activate sludge process, and you can see dissolve the oxygen.
So I've got a question around. So you'll be monitoring the DO. You can see that it's at 2.12 milligrams per liter. Are you able to manipulate that down and see what the downstream implications are? Is the machine learning adept enough to give us the consequences of a lower or higher DO?
Sure. It is is our purpose, Piers.
Good.
Yeah, the last phase, we were inside our blower house. Remember that we are seeing the frequency of the equipment, the airflow, and the historical parameters, and we will even put more charts to see the trends and to optimize this operation. Just the consequences.
Yes, but just one thing to point out, the system right now is not bidirectional. We cannot send information or commands from here, okay? It's in the next step, we will do that. But right now, we can only show the data that the database is how can I say, displaying for us, Okay, so you should go to the data bank to start creating simulations. But in here, we can only see what's happening over there, okay?
The ultimate dream, of course, will be able to say, I'm going to turn my blowers down and I'm going to save the energy from not doing that. What's the consequence of being able to run the plant right at the edge? We've got a couple of questions, which again, I'm going to read because I know you can't see them, Wagner. So from Rhett in Yarra Valley in Australia. Good morning, Rhett. He's asked the question, how did you balance the challenge between investing money to make the visuals more detailed and realistic versus wanting to have an operational versus having an operationally useful tool? There's this fine balance, I guess, as to where you spend your development dollars. Maybe that's a question for you, Carlos. It's around
that's a beautiful question, because right now we use a platform, okay? So you can import the models, okay? And you have also lots of tools to create the digital environment. So no need for coding, okay? So it's a timeline. You work with the timeline. You start to stack up, how can I say, actions or animations. And everything you see here comes out from this platform. So it's quite cheap, actually, the digital visualization, okay? The most important thing is the tremendous amount of work that the guys put on scanning the site, collecting the data, analyzing the data. But right now, XR Project is a platform, so it's a lot easier than you might think.
Brilliant.
Just to talk about the strategy. This project, we are not seeing the economic feasibility because it's a POC, it's a proof of concept that we are trying. The idea is next steps will be able to, for example, have the best, for example, concentration of oxygen for the wastewater in the entrance of the wastewater treatment plant. It can, in another step, be used in automation, and in another step to making a complete autonomous operation. It's a step by step you are advancing, and it's a POC, it's a proof of concept. For us, we are not seeing the economical feasibility in this specific case.
Yeah, okay, I get that. A few more questions. We're going from Brett, who's having his breakfast in Melbourne, to Peter Williams, who's having his lunch in California, I guess. I'm going to do the easy question first, which was around, can you superimpose maintenance instructions on each image for each asset?
Perfect. Yeah, I will show this part in the centrifuge, decanter centrifuge. Wow, fantastic question. Yeah, we will see in details the tasks.
Yes, good question, because...
Sorry, Carlos.
Go ahead, please. No, I was just going to say...
You go.
Okay, I was just gonna say that as it's a cross-platform, how can I say, environment, people can use augmented reality, of course, to overlay the digital environment on top of the real machine, for instance. So it's it's an excellent way to have training and showing processes, understanding about the machine, okay, without putting in danger the trainee or the machine, okay? So it's a very good question. I think it's one of the best benefits also from this kind of system.
Absolutely. Now, there's another question which seemed to, on my database, seems to have just been flicked off, but it came around, where's the data stored? And I think if you can answer the cybersecurity question at the same time, because I think there's a cybersecurity and data storage question that I'm sure will be of interest to people. Carlos, is that one for you to answer?
Yes. Well, first of all, every machine has an instance of this geometry, okay? But it's how can I say? It's not encrypted, but it's not the actual 3D model. It's an executable, a closed executable, okay? So it's not exposed to the user. This is the first thing you must understand. So every machine has an instance of this plant, okay, of this digital environment. The only thing that grows through the internet is our voice and positions, okay? And even our voice is encrypted, okay? So there's no use if you intercept any message, you have no use for that, okay? It's voice, encrypted voice, and no geometry goes through the internet, okay? I don't know if it explains a little bit about the security. And also, we have a middleware that is capturing the data from the data bank of any company, okay, for instance, and feeding up this geometry, okay? But this middleware is always running on a server on the intranet of each company, okay? So it's very, very secure in that terms, okay? In those terms.
Excellent. So there's now a big question which we should pause around, which is around which platform. So the question was only 2 words, which platform, question mark. But actually, I think it's a really useful point now to pause in this conversation and Carlos, to perhaps talk about who you are and your relationship with AGEA and your thoughts around how you might work with other utilities should they want to emulate and copy this approach. So can you start with answering the question, which platform, the XR Proj one, but can you delve into that first?
Yes, for sure. So we started with the 4.0 industry, okay, more precisely training. Okay, so we developed a partnership with AGEA to use this digital environment for how can I say, for showing the data in the sewage and water treatment. Okay, so right now we are happy to announce that other companies which would like to develop along with us, okay, together with us, we will happy to share the technology and also to share the costs of this technology. I think people are going to be amazed that this platform is easy to use, okay, but only if we make partnerships with AGEA, okay? This is really important in the water treatment, okay?
Understood. And just before we park and move on from that one, so if someone wanted to pursue that, they can either drop me an email or drop Wagner or Marco an email, or indeed yourself, Carlos. Can you put your email? Actually, I'll circulate your email details. We'll do that when we circulate the video. And just in case anyone joined after we started, this is being recorded and we will circulate the video link to it. Now, let's go back to breakfast in Melbourne, because Kevin Heath from City Wastewater has asked, is the treatment plant physically manned or is the plant monitored remotely? I would think that there are still physical activities that would require operators to attend sites, such as taking samples and cleaning the physical centres. Wagner.
Yeah, we have physical operation as well, and this platform are helping a lot to support this team. inside this environment? Great question. Yeah. In the next steps, as Marco said, the artificial intelligence, the automation that we are advancing, we will be more comfortable to operate and most of these remotely.
Yes, and it's important to note also that in the future we can have bidirectionality. Okay, so the digital environment will be able to send commands for the real platform.
Yeah, I'd like to go to the centrifuge. Yeah. Okay. Okay, yeah. This part was mentioned before, how we could use this for training, for support our operation in details. Yeah, and here we can see the real-time data of rotation.
Wagner, there's something interesting. There's another guy with a VR glass right now, which is really nice.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah. We
Wow.
have another guest.
Another guest, yeah. Fantastic.
Perfect.
Brock, yeah. Wow, fantastic, Brock. Yeah. Can you see the screw?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this is a great example of the use of an iPad, okay, of the cross-platform feature in which someone with an iPad can start to see inside of the machine, okay, and also to start to understand about the pieces and how to manage maintenance process. Okay, this is going to be very interesting. In some other clients, we could see some reduction of 40% on a maintenance process. It was beautiful. Okay, so that's a return of investment already. Okay.
Yeah, that's a great example, isn't it? I love it. Great story. Again, I'm throwing in the questions as we go around. So we've done breakfast in Australia and lunch in San Fran. We're now going to dinner in Washington with a question here from DC Water. To what extent are the users, i.e. the O&M personnel, involved in development of these tools? And I guess that's particularly pertinent because you seem to have one of your O&M operators in the centrifuge house with you there. What extent were they involved in developing these tools, though?
Well, this specific centrifuge was a partnership of our supplier. They convinced them to share the piece of the equipment, and we generate in detail this model with some effort of our part as well, because of the confidence of the confidence of the equipment. Yeah, some secrets.
But it's worth mentioning also that I have several hours of meeting with an expert of this machine on site. Okay. The nice thing right now is that this expert can now, how can I say, give support for other plants as well remotely without needing to commute. This is the most beautiful thing.
Yeah, I'd like to highlight the peers and everyone that we can see here the tag. Yeah. So the human-machine interact is controlled with the computerized maintenance system. Check in, check out with this equipment. Okay. So the human-machine interact, how long they take to repair this equipment. And we know the historical data about each maintenance, each work order, and this is quite valuable for us to keep this system working.
Excellent. Well, while we're talking about historical data, I'm going to go to a question from, I believe it was Ben Fraser at City Wastewater in Melbourne, where he said, can scenarios for which there is no historical precedent be simulated? And he's obviously thinking about emergency scenarios, of which we've had pandemics and bushfires in the last 12 months, but unusual spikes in influent quality and things like that. How far can you stretch the envelope to use to model for scenarios for which there's no historical precedent?
Okay, it's a key question. Yeah,
That's a tough question.
We have the historical data based on other platforms. Yeah, for this platform, we are getting the data in this platform, but this plant, this facility, is working over the last 7 years. So we have some historical data, but now we are more accurate data with more instrumentation in the field, and we are being able to right now to correlate this and filter this data to make better decisions in this environment.
It's important to know that we have the XR project that integrates many other platforms that are processing in parallel to a big centralized data in the data lake. And then interesting that this platform integrate other platforms, datas, including, for example, the intelligence we are trying to take from the centrifuge supplier, for example.
Wow, fantastic! Our colleagues are taking pictures. Did you realize that? Take some notes. Wow, they exploring a lot. Wow, they are exploring this environment. Yeah. So it's a preventive belt replacement, oil change. You can see the oil change, instructions, and preventive belt replacement in each part of the equipment. So
I'm assuming you'd realise that Brockton is he's a visitor. He's not an AGEA member of staff, which is what I'd thought at the beginning. But Brock is a member of the Water Action Platform and
fantastic.
Water Innovation Fund member. Brock can't speak to us, can he? He's not able to communicate back to us.
Yeah,
I
because
guess not.
Well, it's well, it's
just because the sound is coming from
the. If I mute this microphone, maybe.
That's okay. I was only going to ask him if we could easily hear him. It would be really interesting to get his impression, bearing in mind.
Yeah. Can you say something? Yeah. Maybe
no. Sorry, we cannot hear people from the audience. Yeah. They just
but inside the XR project, Brock can say something. Can say. Do you want to say something? Okay. Brock, do you want to say something? Can you hear me?
I think the sound is coming just from the meeting, not from inside XR project.
Okay.
Everybody's muted in XR project, yeah. But he should be pretty much able to talk to us. Oh, for sure, yeah.
Okay, no worries. All right, move on.
Yeah. Can you hear? Can you say something? Okay. Yeah. Just to prove the viability of this project, it's important to highlight some benefits, financial benefits that you already seen in the intelligent smart infra program. We are saving money in proactive actions, predictive maintenance, avoiding the downtime, and you can see 3 tasks, the key tasks for keep the centrifuge working well. The board benefits show one is to oil replacement that avoid the transmission box break. So imagine that along the time, balancing the the cost, performance, and risk. Yeah, we have enterprise asset management system, and we calculate all the benefits involved in this initiative, even the gains in performance, the energy efficiency, as well as preserving our image, environment, our employees, among others. And the total is almost 1 million Brazilian reais for this critical and relevant equipment. And I'd like to highlight that if anyone wants to know more scientifically about how we do that, yeah, just scan this QR code. We can scan this QR code. We publish this paper in a big conference that involves many specialists around the world, yeah. Being an AM to manage critical and relevant water and wastewater utilities assets.
Great. If you send me that link along
Sure.
with the video, I'll circulate them tomorrow when we send it around everyone.
Perfect. Yeah. Wow, fantastic. Yeah, many many interactions inside this environment. I'd like to invite everyone to see the overview of this plant and even see the city. Oh yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, we can listen to you.
Can you share your experience, Block?
We can't hear him. You might be able to hear him, but we can't hear him.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah. Well, let's just go to the other hotspot that it's also amazing. This fantastic vision, this futuristic vision from our plant. You can see all this phase, the subsurface, the underground. Yeah. I can hear you.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, okay, I'm show you. Can you see me? I'm up to you. Okay, yeah. Brock, what's your interaction, RV, your immersive experience? You can see the river behind you, the Piracicaba River. You can see the environment, even the city.
So Wagner, we can't hear him, but he has typed, "This is amazing. I wish my colleagues could experience this," which is pretty good endorsement.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah, go ahead, Wagner.
Go ahead, yeah. Let's go. Yeah, teleport everyone. Oh, many avatars inside this environment.
Okay, we've got another question from DC Water. Were the equipment models built from scratch, or was there input from vendors?
Okay, yeah, great question. The vendors offer an object, but incomplete. We put our effort to model in details. Yeah, because there are some secret. They are not the collaborate. So there are some suppliers that don't like to collaborate, and there are some restrictions to offer this one. But it's important to highlight that the many platforms were involved in this process, being models, use a lot of Bentley solutions, Open Building, Open Plant, many others, specific CAD platforms to digitalize. Yeah, Cadu, do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, sometimes it's hard to get access to the models because again, suppliers don't want to expose intellectual property. Okay, but we can scan a lot of the thing, a lot of the machinery. Okay, and also the whole plant was built upon the blueprints. Okay, so it was not that hard to do. Okay, and also we had the cloud points scanned from drones. Okay, so it's always a work of having to go there and model a lot of things. Okay, this is this is the tough part of it.
Yeah, and based on being interaction in common data environment and how the interoperability between different formats, there's many challenges behind that. Yeah.
So I'm getting a message saying that we're going to get timed out in a few more minutes. So can I first of all invite anyone else who wants to raise any questions? If you've got any burning questions, now's really your last chance to put them in the chat box. And Wagner, is there, bearing in mind you've probably got 2-3 minutes left,
Sure.
anything else you particularly want to demonstrate?
Okay. Yeah.
And just while you're going there, we have had one question coming in about how about using the new LiDAR, LIDAR app on iPads?
Yeah, that's great question. LiDAR nowadays is available for iPads. We are beginning to explore this one. Laser scanning is based on LiDAR. Drones are based on LiDAR. Yeah, that's pretty interesting question. Many specialists are familiar with beam methodology. Yeah, that's the cloud points based. It's a key issue for model real equipment.
Yeah, for the cloud points, you know, even from a simple device as an iPad, helps a lot in order to have precision for the model. Okay, so that when you go to the AR solution, everything matches up. Okay, so it's really interesting. Right now, we use a lot of photogrammetry, okay, and some LiDAR scanning, but a simple device as an iPad, a LiDAR scan from an iPad is going to be revolutionary also. Okay, we take a lot of time sometimes correcting the position for the overlay of the AR solution. Okay, so it's a great tool, I guess.
Well, pretty interesting questions. We are very excited to hear that. Yeah, so many possibilities, many steps ahead in this development, as Marco said, and we are even more comfortable that for this moment it will make our strategy team make better decisions for our assets, for our installations, to comprehend in details all these phrases. It's the dynamic world. Yeah, it's important to highlight that. Yeah, sometimes we need to change this component to replace, and we need to update this model. Yeah, it's even more challenging to support all these interactions and keep this system working with reliable information.
Yeah, there is no limit to connect or interface any data, including external data, for example, weather forecasts, and also AI models or platform you can interface without limits.
Yeah, videos, streaming videos. Yeah. From site. Cameras, sound devices, we can record sound from the machinery and put inside of this digital environment. Again, as Marco said, there are no limits. It's very interesting, okay? Provided that you have the proper middleware. But everything you see here in terms of animation is, or schematic animation, is built up with this platform XR project. Okay, so you don't need the programmer anymore. Okay, so that's something that helped a lot to have this digital environment without a lot of cost, at least on the part of the visualization. Okay.
Brilliant. Gentlemen, we've come to our time limit. I would like to close by saying I'm in awe of what you've achieved here and for sharing it so so openly. It's just fantastic. We've got here some quotes coming in. Absolutely fascinating demonstration. Thank you very much. And from Brock, as he's experiencing it firsthand on behalf of all of us, he's written that having real-time sensor information within this environment is particularly useful. So Marco, Wagner, Klaus, Carlos, it's brilliant. Thank you for sharing this. I will circulate, Marco, if you can send me the link to the video, I will circulate this tomorrow to everyone on the Water Action platform, including your contact details, so that as people want to take it forward, they can connect with you directly. On behalf of everyone on this call, thank you so much. And wherever you are in the world, whether you're going to bed now or whether you are just starting your day, have a brilliant day. Thank you very much.
Thank
Wow,
you all.
thank you very much.
Thank you
It's
very
a
much.
Wow.
Thank you.
Fantastic.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Brock. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Brock.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.